Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com the third week of January 2023. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Motorcycle stunt performer Robbie Knievel died January 13, 2023 at his home in Reno, Nevada. He died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 60. He was the son of the legendary daredevil Evel Knievel, and he followed in his father's footsteps, performing awe-inspiring motorcycle jumps. Knievel is being remembered for jumps over the fountains at Caesar's Palace and over an oncoming locomotive. Football player Charles White died January 11, 2023, of liver cancer at the age of 64. He won the 1979 Heisman Trophy as a tailback with the University of Southern California. White is also being remembered for playing in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns and Los Angeles Rams. Musician Robbie Bachman died January 12, 2023 at the age of 69. He was the founding drummer for Bachman-Turner Overdrive, known for hits including Takin' Care of Business and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Bachman is being remembered for co-writing songs for the band, including their hit Roll On Down the Highway. Actress Dorothy Tristan died January 7, 2023 at her home near LaPorte, Indiana. She died of complications from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 88. She had memorable roles in movies including Klute, Scarecrow, and Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Tristan is also being remembered for writing and starring in The Looking Glass, about a woman with dementia, even as she was in her own battle with Alzheimer's disease. Baseball player Denny Doyle died December 20, 2022 at the age of 78. He was a second baseman with the Boston Red Sox, starting all 7 games in their 1975 World Series appearance. Doyle is also being remembered for his years with the Philadelphia Phillies and the California Angels. Actor Michael Levin died January 6, 2023 at a hospital in Mount Kisco, New York. He died of natural causes at the age of 90. He starred on the soap opera Ryan's Hope for years as reporter Jack Fanelli. He is also being remembered for performances on As the World Turns and All My Children. Levin was a U.S. Navy veteran who served for 2 years. Actress Miiko Taka died in January 2023 at the age of 97. She starred opposite Marlon Brando in the 1957 movie Sayonara. Taka is also being remembered for performances in the TV miniseries Shogun and movies including Operation Bottleneck and Paper Tiger. Dancer and singer Arthur Duncan died January 4, 2023 at a care center in Moreno Valley, California. He died of a stroke and pneumonia at the age of 97. He was a regular on The Betty White Show in 1954, singing and tap dancing, and he became the first regular black performer on a variety show. He is also being remembered for his many years of dancing on The Lawrence Welk Show. Duncan was a veteran of the U.S. Army. Musician C.J. Harris died January 15, 2023 at a hospital in Jasper, Alabama. He died of a heart attack at the age of 31. He was a contestant on the 13th season of American Idol in 2014, coming in 6th place. Harris is being remembered for his warm, emotional voice. Professional wrestler Jay Briscoe died January 17, 2023 in Laurel, Delaware. He died in a car accident at the age of 38. Born Jamin Pugh, he took Jay Briscoe as his ring name and wrestled with his brother in the tag team Briscoe Brothers for Ring of Honor. Briscoe is being remembered as a champion. He and his brother won the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship 13 times. Ballerina Lupe Serrano died January 16, 2023 in Syosset, New York. She died of complications from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 92. A native of Chile, she was the first Latina principal dancer at New York's renowned American Ballet Theatre. Serrano is also being remembered as a longtime teacher of ballet. Singer Keith Beaton died January 13, 2023 at the age of 72. He was a founding member of the Philadelphia soul group Blue Magic. Beaton is being remembered for his rich tenor voice showcased on songs such as the 1974 hit Sideshow. Basketball player and coach Chris Ford died January 17, 2023 of heart failure at the age of 74. He played for the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics. With the Celtics, he won the 1981 NBA championship and scored the first three-pointer in NBA history. Ford is also being remembered for his college career at Villanova University and as a coach for the Celtics and other teams. Catholic nun Lucile Randon died January 17, 2023 at a nursing home in Toulon, France. She died in her sleep at the age of 118. Also known as Sister Andre, she was the world's oldest person and the fourth oldest authenticated person in history. Randon is being remembered for enjoying wine and chocolate every day. Baseball player Frank Thomas died January 16, 2023 in Pittsburgh at the age of 93. He was best known for his years as a center and left fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 1950s with 3 All-Star appearances. Thomas is also being remembered as one of the original members of the New York Mets, and also for his time with the Chicago Cubs, Philadelphia Phillies, and other teams. Musician Van Conner died January 17, 2023 of pneumonia at the age of 55. He was the bassist for Screaming Trees, the pioneering grunge band known for songs including Nearly Lost You. Conner is also being remembered for performing with bands including Solomon Grundy and Dinosaur Jr. Actress Gina Lollobrigida died January 17, 2023 in Rome at the age of 95. The Italian beauty caught the world's attention in films including The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Come September. Lollobrigida is also being remembered as a photojournalist, humanitarian, and political activist who ran for the Italian Senate just last year. Musician David Crosby died January 19, 2023 after a long illness at the age of 81. The legendary singer-songwriter was one of the faces of the Woodstock generation as a founding member of both the Byrds and the folk rock supergroup Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Crosby is being remembered for many years' worth of amazing music, including classic songs of the 60s and 70s such as Almost Cut My Hair, Deja Vu, Guinevere, and 8 Miles High. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Pennsylvania have been lowered to honor the memory of State Representative Eugene Giese. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered to honor the memory of former state senators David Laustsen and Richard M. Kelly. Flags in California have been lowered to honor the memory of Riverside County Sheriff's Deputy Darnell Calhoun, who died in the line of duty, and Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Stephen Lim. Flags in Wyoming have been lowered to honor the memory of Saratoga Emergency Medical Technician Tyler Harris, who died in the line of duty. Flags in North Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of former state representative Annie Brown Kennedy. Flags in South Carolina have been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Representative and State Senator and Representative Arthur Ravenel Jr. This week also marks several notable anniversaries. 10 years ago this week, columnist Pauline Phillips died at the age of 94. She was better known as Abigail Van Buren, as she wrote the popular Dear Abby advice column. 25 years ago this week, musician Carl Perkins died at the age of 65. He was called the King of Rockabilly, known for hits including Blue Suede Shoes and Honey Don't. 30 years ago this week, actress Audrey Hepburn died at the age of 63. She was the beloved star of movies including Breakfast at Tiffany's and My Fair Lady. Singer Janis Joplin was born 80 years ago this week. She died in 1970 at the age of 27. Her powerful voice made classics out of such songs as Me and Bobby McGee and Piece of My Heart. Entertainer Sherry Lewis was born 90 years ago this week. She died in 1998 at the age of 65. She was best known for her act with the sock puppet Lamb Chop. Actress Jean Stapleton was born 100 years ago this week. She died in 2013 at the age of 90. She was a sitcom star who won 3 Emmy Awards for playing Edith Bunker in All in the Family. Actress and singer Ethel Merman was born 115 years ago this week. She died in 1984 at the age of 76. Known for her big, brassy voice, she starred in such musicals as Gypsy and Anything Goes. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.